2, 3, 4. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. All right, Jolene by Dolly Parton. Holding an A minor chord, capoed on the 4th fret. The key to getting the sound on the recording here is with the left hand. What the guitar player is doing is starting on and then taking it off, hammering on, pulling off, and hammering on again to start the pattern over. I'll show you what I mean here. So we start on, off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on, off, hammer on, pull off, hammer on. Your right hand pattern, what's going on with the picking pattern on the right hand is you've got your thumb going back and forth between A and D, so that never changes. But what changes are these two fingers here. And these two fingers are in charge of, pointer fingers in charge of G string, middle fingers in charge of B string. And you want to really establish that. You know, I've seen people finger pick with just thumb and pointer finger going back and forth between G and B. But I think once you get going really fast with something like this, where it's a lot of speed, it's just much smoother and easier to use your middle and your pointer and your middle for G and B. And thumb just goes back and forth like that. So here's your A minor chord. So thumb on A, pointer on G, thumb on D, middle on B. By the time you get to the B string, though, your left hand's already off here. So that should be an open B. Now, so we went, with the right hand, we went A, G, D, B, A, G, and now we're going to do D and B together. So that's thumb on the D, middle on the B together, and hammer on the chord with the left hand. So we've got off, and then D and B together, hammer on, finish out the pattern. So A, G, D, and now when we get to the B string here, we're going to play A string at the same time with the thumb. So here's what we've got from the beginning. Off, D and B together, hammer on. A and B together, pull off. And then hammer on to start the pattern again. And when you turn around the pattern, when you start over again, this is a hammer on, so we play G string, hammer on the chord. When the chord hits, you should be playing your thumb on the A string at the exact same time, like this, to start the pattern over. Now you're going to have to play 2 G strings in a row there. G, hammer on, A string, and then G again, just because that's the way the pattern goes. off and hammering on here, you don't actually want to move your hand that much. I'm just doing it to illustrate where the hand comes on and off. But, you know, ideally you would want it to just be a tiny little lift like that. But just for illustration purposes, here it is again, nice and slow from the beginning. Hopefully you got it. Have fun with Jolene.